was bullied in high school. I was in 10th grade, and it wasn't your kind of run-of-the-mill bullying where somebody was being mean to somebody. It was really the classic definition of bullying, where it was over and over and over again for the course of the year with not just one person. It was a group of girls. It was like torture. They stalked me. They followed me home from school. They went to the places where I hung out with my friends and just kind of tortured me there. They wrote all over the bathroom walls. And it was an incredibly painful time. And it still haunts me in so many ways. So anyone who thinks that like bullying is something that doesn't affect you really affects you. It really affects me. I'll speak for me, but I know other people who have been affected as well. And in that time, there were a couple things that happened to me. One is that it was too scary and risky for me to express my anger or my rage and my boundary. So I did suppress my anger at the time, even though I felt angry. I was super scared. I threw up every single day before school. I remember the telephone pole that I stood at and threw up so that I could get through the day. But the other thing that I did was I had decided that I was going to never let her know, because there was a ringleader in this. I was never going to let her know how much she affected me. So I said, I'm going to put on a happy face. I'm going to act like she doesn't bother me. And so I was already a pretty smiley person, but I was like, I put the mask of happiness on. Now it turns out that this girl, she lived a really hard life. She had a mother who was a drug addict and a prostitute. Father was never around. She was pretty miserable. I always felt a lot of compassion for her. But for me, it turns out that she didn't like me because I was too happy and she wanted me to be more miserable. So I now realize I kept on fueling that by being happy. I never showed how much she hurt me. So what happened in there? I suppressed my anger and my rage. And let me tell you, it came out later. In my 20s and early 30s, I had so much anger that I put out there in the world. The second thing happened, though, is I put on a mask of happiness, and I felt miserable inside. So I was kind of incongruent, and I learned how to put this mask on. And so now I'm having to learn how to feel joy, true joy and happiness from the inside out. And I'm just curious for you, how have things from your childhood impacted you now?